Welcome to the premiere episode of Solutions Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about top 5 business branding mistakes people make. Branding is a vital part of every business. It is mostly done at the beginning of a business venture. However, what we're going to be talking about today are top 5 business branding mistakes that you can make at the beginning of your business venture while you're branding, or 5 branding mistakes you have already made and how to correct them. Enjoy the ride. Number 1, jumping into branding without defining your target audience. Let me tell you this. Branding is about designing your message to suit the logical and emotional needs of your target audience. This means what? That means that every message, pictorial identity, color, design, everything is designed to suit that target audience in order to facilitate immediate response. Now, when this is not done, your message goes out there and your target audience doesn't understand it. That's why you say, I'm doing advertisement, I'm doing marketing, but nothing is happening. This is why. You need to design your message for your target audience. That means you have to identify them. Once you identify your target audience, you design your brand to suit that particular target audience. Once your message can suit that audience, it goes out there, your audience sees it, it resonates with them, they understand it, now they can act on it. Why? Because you have targeted them. So what do you need to do now? Define your target audience and craft your message to reach out to them. Now, the second branding mistake that people make is you forgetting that you are your brand. Yes, you. I'm talking to you, the business owner. Your brand is not separate from you. You are your own brand. Now this leads me to this. You cannot separate your character and your identity from your brand, because your character and your identity reflects on your brand. Whoever you are as a person affects your brand. Now, how you might ask me, how does this happen? First of all, your interaction with your members of staff, your interaction with your customers. Because if you don't treat your members of staff well, they will in turn not treat your staff well. So, you as an individual need to understand that your character traits as the person affects your brand. You need to understand that if you cannot be disciplined as a person, to discipline yourself to have the right character for interacting with people skills. If you cannot understand that, your brand is going to be at risk, because you'll be treating your brand like yourself. You begin to treat your brand like your own self. No, you shouldn't do that. Your brand should be a definition of what your brand represents, not what you represent. So people should hear of your brand and not hear of you. They should hear of your brand and hear of your brand and not you. So separate your individuality from your business. When you get to the office, when you get to your business space, be your brand. Don't be yourself. Be your brand. Another popular mistake that businesses make is the lack of consistency. Now, this is a very serious mistake you can make for your business. If you're not consistent, that is the challenge. Now, speaking about consistency, the first thing you're going to talk about is the intangibles before you talk about the tangibles. Now, the intangibles are you consistent with the values that you've set for your brand? Are you consistent with the standards that you've set for your brand? You cannot say that your value is customer satisfaction and you cannot even satisfy a customer. No, you have to be able to what? Be consistent. Be consistent on the good days, be consistent on the bad days. You have to be consistent consistently, if there's anything like that. Yeah. So you have to be consistent with those things. Now, let's talk about the intangibles. You have to be consistent with your brand. It's talking about high moral values and certain things that needs to be represented that way. You need to represent it that way. What do I mean? What your office, what does it look like? Do you have necessary props and certain things that make your office look good? Your members of staff, are they well taken care of? Or is your business just pay them staff and go? No, you have to be consistent with that. Let your members of staff look like the brand that you're promoting. Be consistent. It's not just about making money. No, be consistent. Be consistent and let your brand show that consistency. Finally, all your online platforms need to speak the same language. Yes, all of them. From your Facebook to your Instagram to your YouTube, everything needs to speak the same language. You cannot be saying one thing here and the other thing there. You have to be consistent there. So try and create content in such a way that all online platforms are saying the same thing. This is how to be consistent. Choosing the right team is another major mistake. Now, you might say, I'm hiring my members of staff according to the roles that they are playing, according to what they are going to do in my company. Yeah, that's fine. But you need to hire people that can represent your brand. The people you're going to hire, can their work ethics, can their ideologies, do they fit into your brand? These are the things you need to ask yourself. And when they do, you don't just hire them and let them go. No, you hire them and train them. You need to train your members of staff to understand the tenets of your brand. Because if they don't understand it, they cannot represent it. So train your members of staff. Now, when you're done training them, you don't just let them go. No, you have to keep monitoring them. You have to keep tracking them. It's about human development. Make sure that your members of staff understand your brand and understand what it takes to relate that brand to the public. Now, this is something that is very critical that damages a lot of brands. When you carry your personality to a brand. So if you don't hire the right amount, the right type of staff or the right staff for your brand, what is going to happen is simple. They will carry their personal inclinations to your brand, and that can be damaging. You have to start doing damage control here and there to be able to control your image, and that can be stressful. That itself is a major mistake. So hire the right staff and train them and monitor them to maintain your brand image. Finally, you have to spend money to promote your brand. I can't emphasize this enough. Listen, business is spending money to make money. So you can't promote your brand. You can't build a brand. You can't promote a brand. You can't maintain your brand without spending money. So you have to understand this. What do you spend money on? You spend money to train your staff. You spend money to promote your brand. You spend money to promote your brand. You spend money to do anything that will make your brand known. You have to spend money. And now, the reasons why you make some of these mistakes that I've listed above is because you don't spend money on consultation. One of the ways to make your brand come alive, maintain, and promote is by consultation. So what do I mean by this? You have to consult with people who their expertise is doing this branding. So be ready to spend money. Now, this is why I'll tell you need to spend money. When you're setting up your business, you spend money in getting the office space, you spend money in purchasing products, you spend money in setting up everything you need to set up. But listen, when you've spent all those money to set up everything physically, and your brand cannot get to those it needs to get to, that is a problem. This is why I say you need to spend money to promote your brand. You need to spend money to build your brand. If you don't spend money on your brand, you can't make sales or get the kind of clients that you want to get. So understand this today. Change your mindset. Don't begin to say someone is eating my money or someone's eating my money. No. Be ready to spend money to take your brand to the place and you want it to get to. Now, if you're one of those who have made these mistakes, you don't have to panic. Just be calm. All you have to do is down in the description, you see our website link. Tap on it and book for a consultation. Or you can reach us on any of our hotline numbers 24/7. Come, let us discuss on how we can solve your problem and give your business make your business hitch free. Now, what you just listened to is the top 5 branding business mistakes that you make, coming to you from Solutions Podcast. I'm Halel and I'm out.